Alright, so I gotta redo the video again. This is an update because I keep pressing a button by accident and stopping the video, so that's just my phone here. So I'll try not to do that. As you can see, the radio's off. I have the car on the on position. Yesterday I managed to get the reverse wire plugged in. So this is what happens when you go in reverse. Oops, is it on? Nope, it's an accessory, but once I turn it on, that would be assuming the car's on already, and that's the only time it works. You heard the locks. If I put it on reverse, even though the radio was off, it comes on, and there's my dash cam. So I don't have a reverse camera, and I got that finally working, but if I take it out of reverse, even with the radio off, it still brings it out. So that can be a good and bad thing on something like this that keeps coming in and out. I really don't want to use that since I don't have a backup camera, so I may have to take the wire off again. That's just for me. Now, as far as the dash cam, since I finally figured out what happened, basically the wire came off, and I had not seen that when I installed it the second time, so I had to go back in there and trace the wires, and I was trying to figure out what was going on. So I finally did that, and I found out it was the wires. So I had to go ahead and put electrical tape around the RCA's what do you call it, the connectors, and then I also will use a wire tie, so I don't think that's gonna come out anytime soon again, hopefully. But it was a simple fix, yet it was driving me nuts because I thought it was a stereo itself, but that was that. So let me go ahead and turn it on and show you that the dash cam does work. So that's the startup. The other thing I wanted to mention, I finally went ahead and did the updates. Navi Extras finally came up with an update to their software, and it looks like instead of 2 hours now I can do the updates in about 10 minutes. So that was a big plus on that, and it looks like it was the software. They had like some other update on there. So right now it's updated because I went back to the original and the maps were the same, no 3D or anything. So that was that. And let's see here. Let me go back. I got a few things to cover up that I don't think I covered last time, or covered, not cover up. So there you go. Dashcam works. So you can see it is recording because the car is on. And so luckily it was just the what do you call it, the plug that needed to be put back in there, and so that was kind of nice. The only thing is that now that reverse keeps coming up and out, even if the radio's off, so which is fine if you have a backup camera, but I don't, and you know it does that without the radio being on too, so maybe a good thing or a bad thing depending on your setup. In my case, I find it kind of annoying right now because I don't have a backup camera anyway. So maybe that's an option to put on the settings. I don't know. Or when they do get something that has input for 2 cameras, which reminds me, that's the other thing. Now, because of that, I like to get a backup camera, but in order to see both, you may need a switcher of some type, manual switcher for the cameras. So it gets a little bit more complicated in terms of, you need more stuff, and well, the backup is only momentary, so it's like, do I really even need a backup? Well, it's kind of nice because of the driveway I usually back up, and it's nice to have something, I guess, that you can look at even if you don't want it. So it depends on the setup. That's all up to you guys, or whatever you want to use. Now let's see. They finally updated the software. I went ahead and did the updates, whatever was on there, because I did the fixes that they suggested, but that didn't fix like the freezes and stuff. So I went back. Finally went to the original software to look at the maps. But you know, they had some other updates, and I finally did everything again. And this is like the latest updated version. And the good thing is the software had an update, the computer software, the Navi updates. I think it was Navi update, Navi extras, and so I went from 2 hours to 10 minutes updating my SD card. So that's pretty nice. So there was something going on there. It's still not quite perfect in terms of what I'm noticing here, but by that I mean like the Bluetooth. I've been trying to sync my phone, so there's no phone list. Actually, I synced it once and I saw just the recent calls, and then I did again and it took him off, and now it's like it's not syncing. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. Even though it says it does do it, it's not really doing anything. And I'm recording with a camera right now, so I'm gonna try to not push any buttons again. I keep, like I said, accidentally doing that. So let me go to phone book, and it's empty. So that's something that I think still needs a little bit of work, because I did see the last, I don't know, 6 or 4 person whatever fit on this side here calls earlier, and it just did it once and now it's not doing it again. So that may need another update to fix that. The other thing I want to cover, because I forgot to do it last time, so here's the Sony microphone. See, you can tilt it when you know, up and down or whatever. And now here is the other mic from the Jensen, and this is all you get compared to this one here. So pretty big difference there. If I can get that to focus. Okay, may now focus, but you can see the difference. This one I can, like, you know, up or down, I can just point it wherever I want when it's like installed there. And this one, if it falls, it just hang, but if you put it up, it's facing straight back. So that's one bad thing about this mic, which I don't like. I mean, it's installed, but normally it ends up being like this. So that's what I meant last time, that by the mic not being the greatest. And if I put this one on here for a minute, I can stick it on there. Yeah. So you can see both here, and then see how it's not facing me, but now I can like make it turn it towards me. I think it's the background on the back, but you can see I can turn it. This one, that's all I get. So I want to show that on the video just to make it easier to understand what I was talking about, and show you the difference between the mics. Now, the other thing I want to point out is, let's go back to the Navi, which is what I actually use this for, or wanted this for. And let me see here. Okay, here's a Magellan. You see how the street is, it's easy to see which street is what. You know, the whole street is across the what do you call it, the like, here, let me, if I can get it right here. See the street, you can see it, Melrose is that street. Oops. Okay, let me put it down, might be easier. Alright, so that's, you can see which street is which here, like all across, like Santa Monica there, that's easier to see yellow. It's all across the board, left and right. You can see what street is at. So I'm trying to make the comparison here so you can. So we have Willoughby. It like gives you a pop-up if you look at it. Instead of saying Willoughby across here, So it says this street on this side, and then when you go to the next one, it'll say on this, it'll be on this side, and then the next street, it'll be on this side. That's really confusing when you're driving, because um, it's like the same street on both sides. You only have it on one side. So these are like pop-up icons, if you can see it. Well, you can't see it, but that's why I have the other map here to show you the difference. See how clear that is? And now that when I look at it, these are like pop-up icons or whatever. So the whole street is not labeled like on the other map, and that's what makes this map really, I don't know, basic and plain and confusing at the same time. So you can see my old GPS still works, but here's the difference. I mean, that's a big difference, and that's why it looks all empty. And so it's not the best map. And that's the other thing I need to mention. I contacted the manufacturer, no, the map people about that, and they basically told me that the manufacturer didn't ask for the maps, so you either have to buy them or update that stuff on your own. And I was like, what? And then when I contacted the manufacturer of the radio, they basically asked if I bought anything, any updates. And I was like, what do you mean? Nope. So I basically told them no, I didn't buy anything, and they never said anything again. So you're stuck. If you get this unit, you're stuck with this, which sucks, because it's confusing, it's plain, and it's a big difference. You see how that is? Actually, even though it's 3D, I'll change it. It doesn't matter. This one is 2D right here. I use it on 2D if I remember right. So let's go ahead and change that just to make them the same. Okay, it's back. And to make sure I'm doing this right, because I don't want to, you know, I mean, the unit had some nice features, and I don't want to knock that. So here on 2D, you can actually see it better, and that's why you want it on 2D. Let me see if I can, I don't know if I got 3D on this other one. Can't remember. I think it might, but yep. Alright, so I have, here, let me use this. So I do have 3D, so I'm gonna change it to 3D. Wait, there it is. And you see how the shortcut changed it to 3D, not like the other one that doesn't change it. But still, look, the streets are, you can pretty much see the whole street across both sides being what do you call it, labeled. So I'm on 3D now. So there you go. I'm trying to get a better view just to make sure I'm doing this fairly here. So either way, it's like on 2D you can see them all across, so I guess that's right. Let me go back. Oops. Okay, back. Alright, so that's the 2D, 3D, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this right so they match, at least. And that's that map, and that's this map. So remain one's on the right and the other one's on the left, and let me see, I'm trying to figure out which one's right. I think the bottom's right because I'm facing, wait, see, this one's wrong because I'm facing north. So try to figure this out, because remains right, I think, behind me. Yep. So although this is right, this is exactly how I'm sitting here. Remain should be like this and behind me, but this says I'm facing south, so This map, I guess, is the right one, but showing me what's behind me if I was going south, but this one doesn't even say north or south anyways. So anyway, usually it's better when you're moving, but when you're sitting, it shows you the map correctly, I guess, but then your compass is not. So there you go. It's just more for the confusion there for you to see, but I'm trying to just show everything here that we can see on these maps, and I'm not trying to do a comparison or a review on maps or whatever. I just kind of show you what they look like. Anyway, I get people going by here looking at me funny while I'm doing the reviews, but okay. So this one's got 3D buildings. I'm not moving, so well, as I know, this one showed me the maps before. I mean the buildings. Anyway, so I'm gonna leave it alone, and that at this point, just kind of know that the 2D actually it's a better view in terms of the streets. Since I don't have any 3D buildings. This one is the same thing, so I'm on 3D already, but it's kind of similar. The only difference is this one eventually will show me the buildings. This one doesn't. So there you go. The software was updated. It only took me 10 minutes, so that was pretty cool. Another good thing, I guess, it does have a few good things. Is the screen. It's a 7-inch screen. You know, at first I wasn't sure what to think about it, but you can tell the difference. It's pretty small, and the 7-inch screen is really nice. The other thing I found out because of the way my car is, it looks nice here, but when you're driving, I really have to take my view from the street or from in front of me. So if it was up higher, so any GPS that's up higher, it's usually in a better deal or a better setup. It is what it is. This is where the unit is on this one. But in order for you not to get your eyes off the, you know, if you ever want to look at it, you can always listen to it. You don't have to look at it. But if you want to look at it, it does take quite a bit to move over here. So you don't want to stare at this too long when you're driving. Although the voice prompts are pretty good. So far it seems like they work. Sometimes on the turns might be a little longer, or you know, after you turn or whatever, but I think you can set this up to change a little bit. Either way, you know, I try not to just use the voice prompt as much as I can, because yeah, you really have to like take your eyes off the driving in order to look at it sometimes. But that's why I do it when I'm parked, instead of, you know, set everything when you're parked, and or you know, when you have a passenger, let them do it, just to be safe. That's just something to keep in mind. Other than that, it's just, you know, the sync thing, and the volume on this. I did put another what do you call it, a wiring here, because I want to add the amp later, since it just doesn't sound that great on the regular what do you call it, set of speakers that I have at the front. I know they sound pretty good, but yeah, maybe I'm hoping the amp will help on this one. Problem is, I gotta run wiring again to the speakers to go to an amp, which I don't have at the moment. And you know, that's gonna be another thing that I didn't do just yet because I was thinking about adding the camera, but since I have this one and I'm not sure I like this popping in and out all the time for like a few moments when I'm going on reverse, so I might just get that wire, take that wire off altogether and not use it. I mean, since I have two cameras, kind of moot for me to do anything. I do like the fact that I can go in here and just look at it, because I can change my settings if I need them, or I can review any video that I need in case anything happens. So that's the good thing about this. You know, I don't need it, but it's kind of nice to have something that works. Let me see here. That was the other thing. My camera SD had a problem. I did check the SD for the GPS, just the card, just to make sure that was fine. And then my SD card on the camera, for some reason, it wasn't recording anything. It was on, but it wasn't working. So there were some problems with it, errors, I guess. I got those fixed, and that has nothing to do with the actual video on here. It's just the plug that was on here wasn't working. So it came undone, so I had to go back and redo that. But that was an easy fix. And let's see what else. It's always something, but I think that will cover pretty much everything. I mean, for what I do have that actually I use on here, aside from the syncing of the phone, it looks like that's the last thing, and then the sound for me to actually make this work completely with what I have. Let me see. And 747, yeah, it's all the same there, but this is the only thing that kind of I wish was a little better in terms of the buildings and what do you call it? And if the streets were named across here, like they are on here, see how the whole, oops, instead of looking like a pop-up, see how the names are on the actual street. So that's a little annoying, but you know, it's just a different company, so I don't know, I'll keep using it. And I mean, it's there now, but I'm having a hard time getting used to this bubbles, I guess you call it, or callouts, instead of the actual names like this, because you can definitely tell the big difference. And you know, I mean, it's fine because it's a bigger screen or whatever, but I don't know, I guess the pop-ups kind of makes it confusing instead of having the words on the actual street there, and maybe that's why I'm getting confused a little bit when I'm driving, because you see one here, you see one here, and yeah, I don't know, it's when you drive with it, it's when you'll notice a difference. But that's the iGo maps, I guess that's how they do it. So far the company was pretty good. They got back to me, and that was nice. Jensen also got back to me. You know, actually they told me that I might have to send the unit back because I couldn't get the what do you call it, the camera working. I don't know if it was because of that or not, because I did mention it that I couldn't get that, or just think I forget. But I'll keep using it. It seems like it's still working. So yeah, I think I covered pretty much that. And obviously the software was a big deal in terms of the updates, because that was taking way too long. It looks like 10 minutes now. I don't know if it's completely working or not, but it's updated. So I'm trying to get back in here to what was I going to settings. Trying to get back to something. I'm just blanked out on here. Give me a sec. So I guess I could use a video in here, or I don't know, video in, was it video in? I'm trying to remember. video in. So I think you can put a video in here on this. Maybe if I get an adapter, I can use one of these, this on here or the on the back, to use the dash cam instead of that, and then use the rear. So I'm gonna look into that. I don't think you can, because I'm pretty sure the audio video in is just for a monitor, so that you can add another monitor here and the other one there. So I'm pretty sure about that. And then of course the Bluetooth is, again, it's the one thing that it's not working for me, even though it says it does sync. If I go to phone book, I still got nothing. I'm sure if I turn the phone Bluetooth and turn it back on and off, it might bring those back, but again, I only see the 4, like the last people I called. So alright, well, without making this too long, I think that pretty much covers this unit, and I hope that was helpful.